Anita here from Bouncebackability. Today I thought I'd just do a very quick video on how to create certainty in times of uncertainty. So the first thing to understand is, why is it our brains need certainty? Why is it in times of uncertainty we can often feel very unsettled? Well, our brains actually like to be able to predict the future. They like an element of certainty. That's not like they don't like variety too, but they do like to be able to predict the future. If you think about it, our primal instinct is to stay safe and out of danger. And if our brains can't predict what's going to happen next, often where they go is to assume that it's going to be danger. And so therefore our brains activate our stress system, because they activate basically our fight or flight system. And so what happens is the stress system activates, there's a whole cocktail of neurochemicals going in our brain, and that's why we feel anxious and overwhelmed in times of uncertainty. So what can we do about this? Well, the first things first is to keep talking to ourselves about the fact that just because things are not certain and we can't predict the future, that doesn't necessarily mean danger. So we can kind of retrain our brains not to be oversensitive to something that actually isn't that isn't dangerous. The other thing we can do is really focus on what you can control. So a lot of uncertainty comes from the fact that you can't do anything about it, can't control it. So to actually focus on what you actually can control is a really good strategy. So what can you control? Well, you can control how you respond to things. You can control decisions you make. You can control how you choose to spend your time. You can control the people that you spend your time with, all of these things. So thinking about, okay, right now, what can I control, will bring that sense of control and certainty into your brains. And the final thing I want to talk about is if you have a tendency towards being perfect, so perfectionism. Because perfectionism is just a behavioural strategy for our brains to know and be able to predict the future. After all, if you're striving for perfection and you are perfect, then everything's going to be okay. You're always going to be good at your job and people are always going to like you because you're perfect. But that in itself can create heightened anxiety because we set ourselves such high expectations. We almost create uncertainty from the strategy that was meant to create us certainty. So a good kind of twist in all of this is just to strive for progression as opposed to perfection. So always look at improving, but be kind to yourself. Don't set yourself too many expectations that are your expectations and nobody else's, but strive to progress each and every day rather than strive for perfectionism. So I hope there's a few useful tips there and an understanding of where our brains go to in times of uncertainty. Until next time.